How are you today? Hello, hello. Just gonna make a little bit of pizza today. Who's gonna be first? Who's gonna be first? I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you. Hello, hello. How are you today? I'm making a little pizza today. This is not my favorite yarn. This actually is adorable that I got from Hobby Lobby. Hi, Kush. Hello, Lenora. Yes, Kush, you're first again. I was just asking before anybody got here. I'm like, who's going to be first? Welcome, welcome. What's everybody doing today? I got this. I don't like this yarn. It shreds really bad. I'm still completing my sea turtle. Okay, sea turtle. All right. Still working on sea turtle. That's good. Sea turtles are not real easy. That's for sure. They're not real easy. I'm going to make a slice of pizza. For some little keychains that I want to put in my booth. One of them I wanted to put on my gnome. Good morning, Mama Llama. How is how is everybody? I worried about the storms last night. I watched it all evening. I was stayed real close to the forecast, and I have well, he's a college kid. I watch Max Velocity when it comes time for the storms because he is just really good at getting out the what do you call it? Notice for everybody. So I watch him for that. Really good at getting And I think he was on for like 20 hours last night. And the more storms expected today, so I'm hoping everybody was okay through all the storms yesterday. Here, everything, we just really kind of got quite a bit of rain. We didn't really have tornadoes here. Thank the Lord. But down there where my brother was at, they just hung around there all evening. I am 55 years old. I'm an old fart. All right, that's going to be for that. There's one little pizza crust. We'll make another little pizza crust. If you're below 18, please do not post your age. Norway. Oh, that's great. Welcome. I love it when people are from other countries and tell where they're from. That's awesome. Well, I can tell you my stomach is not real thrilled today that I did not feed it. I do have a pet. I have a dog who is right now watching out the window, waiting for the next unsuspecting bird or cat to fly by so she can bark and make me jump out of my skin. And she's good at that. She's very good at that. And I got some yarn barf going on. Gonna have to grab my yarn winder again, Lenora. I really should be working on my tax stuff. And my son needs to be going to town to get his paycheck so he can pay his car payment and his car insurance. But I got on here instead. I know, it just killed me, but I opened this skein of yarn and I got a bunch of yarn barf, which I'm trying to use it up. This is actually, it's a tan color, but the name of it is Shell Pink. Go figure that one. Somebody needs a color wheel. So I'm just making pizza crust. Yeah, this is like the farthest thing from pink that I've seen. But that's what the color, Shell Pink. Okay. I picked this yarn because I wanted like a bread color, like a bun color, because I was going to make a hot dog, and I did use it for like a hamburger, but I wanted it for breads. But let me tell you what, this is the worst yarn in the world to sew with. It's terrible. Hello, Carmen. Thank you all for being here. I didn't know whether I was going to be able to get on this morning, and then I was talking to my mom, and time got away from me. So I was just a couple minutes late. Hello, Artie. Welcome. Thank you, Carmen. So sweet. Now I understand why some patterns will have the colors listed, and you're thinking, that's not that color. Right. Yeah, I mean, this is not shell. This is not pink. Not pink at all. I think I've got too many stitches in here. Yeah, I'm a curling. I got too many stitches. Oh, try again. This. Thanks for stopping in, Karma. You have a good day. Come back anytime. Yep, today I'm just going to work on some little pizzas. I want to, probably going to make like backpack buddies. I got some plastic little bottle things. I'll go get those and show you what it is. Hello, Frank. I have one son and one grandson. And no, I'm not married anymore. And I like it that way. So I bought these, and I don't remember, I think they came from Temu, but they're just little plastic clips. And I thought they would be good for like backpack buddies. I don't know how, they're not, they're plastic, so you would definitely have to be careful with them. But I'm going to use those for these pieces of pizza. Oh, look, Lenora, yarn winder, never far away. This yarn, I'm worried about it because it shreds if you use it too much. If you move it around very much, it just shreds. And I've got like 3 skeins of it. Oh, and I've got knots. Lovely. So lovely. I'm not on the market, thanks though. All right. I think we got a little spree here that we can go without it tangling for a second. Look at that yarn winder go, Lenora. You know you want one. I did find them for like $10. And I think it's real close to this one. I don't know if it's actually the same one. But I think it was like $10.47 or something like that. It is well worth $10. This particular one, I think I gave 22 for. It's just clutter stress in my world. Well, it could be. It sits on my counter because I use it all the time. I did not think I would use it as much as I have. And that surprised me. I really did not. I did not think I would. I thought I'm going to roll up my skeins and then I'll be done with it and it'll sit on the shelf and then I won't use it anymore, and that is just not what's happened. Hello, Fed Up. No, the storms were here. The storms were here, and we pretty much just got rain here. So I was real happy about that. So we did have some sideways rain. But most of the storms were down around my brother and my aunt down south in Kentucky and Tennessee. They got some really nasty ones down there. I was watching them on the live feed because I love Max Velocity. He's a college kid, and he does a fantastic job of doing the forecast. He's far better than, and it's up to the minute. He's back and forth, and he's telling you it's coming before your phone does. It's amazing. So, Max Velocity, he's I guess he's getting ready to graduate here in May from college. I have heard people say that Ryan Hall, I have heard that name, and I don't know if it's Ryan Hall. Ryan somebody, he's got a fancy name, but I've heard them watch that. But I am just, I'm amazed at how good. Now, he does not pronounce city names very well. His pronunciations are not on. So you kind of got to watch those, but that's really entertainment when how he pronounces the city names. That's really entertaining. Hilarious, but he does an extremely good job. Okay, what do we got going on here? Now these are gonna be my little pepperonis. Oh, I guess I didn't want to do that. Start with a magic ring. I'm gonna make some pepperonis. Told the kids I was going to send him note cards with the pronunciations on him. Now, if you think about that, he's getting ready to graduate and be a meteorologist. Wouldn't you think that it would be beneficial if he had a class in pronunciations of cities? Because, you know, I mean, last night, I don't know how he was saying metropolis, but everybody knows Superman. So, I don't know why he couldn't pronounce metropolis. I don't know, but that was hysterical. And Cape Girardeau, he had a hard one with, I'm sorry, that's just hysterical. Girardeau, or I don't know how he was saying it, but it was hysterical. I checked out your channel while waiting for the storms to pass. I didn't see your tutorial on chickens. That is because I do not have a tutorial on chickens yet. I have a list of tutorials that I need to do. One of them is my emojis that somebody had asked for. One is my potato head, and one is a giant truck, or a car pillow, not a truck, a car pillow, and my chickens. So I have like 4 of them that I need to get done. The problem is I have very little time. Oh no, you're not a bad listener. I don't think I said anything about, I don't remember saying anything about doing a chicken tutorial, but if people want them, then I don't mind doing them, but I am so slow. I only get a little bit of time here and there. So I haven't worked on the tutorials much. I had worked on several tutorials. My sister has a garage that I can go over there and just sit and do the tutorials. But I have not yet had a whole day where I could just go make tutorials. And that's what I need. That and Bolivar. If someone doesn't register that he's not pronouncing towns correctly, it could be bad for them. Yeah, that's my thing. If, like my brother lives in Milan, Tennessee, which is like half an hour outside of Bolivar. Yeah. And I think he was saying Bolivar. But yeah, my brother lives in Milan, Tennessee, and he says Milan. And I don't know. I know other people pronounce it as Milan, but it's Milan. And yeah, if you don't notice it, it could be. Of course, if you're watching a storm and it's coming your way, then you pretty much know where the storm's at if you recognize any of the cities around it. I don't know. I just it's hysterical. But as long as he's been doing it, I'm find it interesting that he doesn't know them better than he does. But he definitely knows how to read that radar. Does a great job. But yes, I do. If I do worry about those that don't recognize his pronunciations, but I still love him. I think he does a great job. I don't understand how he can, because sometimes he'll go for 20 hours And the chats on there, I mean, if you don't pay for a chat, you don't really get seen because they just fly through there. I think last night there were like 82,000 people watching him. 82,000 people. That's enormous. You know, and he said when I was on there that it just amazes him how many people are actually watching him. And, it's like, you know, he's just really, he's that good. There were a lot of people said that, you know, he had given him the warning. Hello, Susan, you made it. Glad to see you. There were several comments on there last night about that they didn't get the sirens, or their sirens weren't going off, and you know, if he hadn't said it, they wouldn't have known to take cover. So that was really good. Yes, Susan, I'm so glad. We're talking about the weather from yesterday. Everybody down your way all right? You had storms down your way? Yeah, I was wondering if you'd give up on me. Aw, thanks. Yeah, the storms are just crazy. One more. One more. One more. There was the one place that their weather radios weren't working either, and he was making sure to keep reminding people. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I noticed that too. That they were, you know, they were in the dark if they didn't have YouTube, and that was really really nice. I wonder how many people, you know, that he's actually saved from being so quick about those warnings. That just amazes me. What a worthy cause, and a really caring person too. Okay, there's my pepperonis. I've got 2 crusts and 2 pepperonis. Now I need to make the cheese. Now I do have a tutorial for these cheese. Look at this, Lenora. I may have yarn barf and have to use that yarn winder. And I know I've got another skein of this somewhere that I've used, and I can't find it, so now I'm opening another one. Now I gotta match my crusts. Yeah, I was thankful about that. I haven't got on there today to see if how much damage there was, because I'm sure there was a lot last night. Right now I'm making pizza cheese, Susan. I made an oddball little gnome last night. I haven't decided whether I like him or not. But I think I'm going to put, I've got the school letters up here, but I think I'm going to put a piece of paper. I don't know if I can cover that up or not. But anyway, here's my gnome. and he's just got toes. But I'm thinking about putting giving him a piece of pizza to hold, because that is made for a school that's going to have a market here soon. So I wanted to have stuff that was the school colors for the school for that market. Thank you, Sabby. Yes, Lake City. Oh wow, that was just oh my gosh. Well, and some of those tornadoes were a mile and 2 miles long. Oh my gosh, it was so scary in some areas. Well, and in Jackson, Tennessee, I have a nephew that lives in Jackson. Him and his wife live there, and it just hung over Jackson. And then now they're supposed to have more storms down that way again today and tomorrow. The whole mid America is going to be one big lake. Now I'm making cheese for my pizza slice. I do have a tutorial on the pizza slice. But I'm using two different sizes of yarn. So I have a blanket yarn that I used for the crust, and then this is the posh yarn, so the sizes are different. So it changes the number of stitches for my cheese. So I got to keep measuring it to make sure I'm not going overboard with my size. Hi, Mimi. Susan, I don't know if you watched any of my other lives, but I've got several other gnomes that I've done recently. I don't know if you saw them or not. And I did kind of went crazy on chickens. I don't usually have more than 2 chickens. And I didn't make it to Dollar Tree yesterday to pick up Easter grass. So I might be able to get that done today. I was hoping to go pay my car payment today, and my son's car payment and the insurance, but so far he hasn't done anything about that either. Eggs. No, I have not done any eggs. I just did the chickens. Crazy little chickens. My dad bought some, or got some, baby chicks. I think he's got 11 baby chicks that he got. That if he don't, he's going to have to keep them pinned up. They aren't going to be able to be free range because there's so many stray cats around here that they would eat them. Okay, that's it for that piece of cheese. Hope you have a wonderful... Hello, Melissa. Thank you. Fed up? How did the chicken turn out that you were working on before the internet messed up yesterday? They actually turned out really cute. Here's the one where I had enough yarn, and here's the one where I substituted yarn. So they did turn out pretty cute, but the real baby chicks are just about this size that my dad just got. But yeah, they turned out pretty cute. And as bad as I hate making chickens, those little ones were not bad. They were not bad at all. I really don't care for making chickens. Another piece of cheese. All the Susan, did you mean all the gnomes that I made? Oh, well, everything I have most of my stuff is packed up for my show, but the stuff I've made recently, I've made big chickens. And I think this is one of the tutorials they want, although I'm going to make the smaller ones for a tutorial. Here's a couple of the big chickens. And then I made smaller chickens. This size is a pretty good size. I don't mind this size. And like I said, I'm getting ready for this school. So here's this gnome that I made yesterday. He's got his little suspenders and his shoelaces, and I do have the school embroidered on the top of the hat. There's another one that I've made for the school. He has a book. His name is also, the school name's on top of the hat. So he's got his little suspenders. And another one. He's got this kind of hat, and he has a book. That's also for the school. Then I have a little flower gnome that's holding a basket of flowers. He's got flowers on his hat. That's what he looks like. And out of all of them, this one is my favorite one. He's got a bucket of flowers and has flowers on his hat. But yeah, of all of them, this one's my favorite. And he's pretty big. So that's what I've been doing lately. Oh, thank you. Hi, Amber. Thank you. So that's what I've been making, and now I wanted, for this cheesy little gnome here that I started, I wanted him to have a prop. But I really don't think there's anything wrong with him as is. But he's kind of got like a bubble beard. But I wanted to make some little pizzas for keychains, so That's what I'm working on right now. Stick these little puppies on here. Little puppy pepperonis. No. I've never made a lady gnome. Why haven't I ever made a lady gnome? I don't know. I need to make a lady gnome. I can't tell you why I've never made one. How would you make the head? Because you can't cover up the head with a beard. Some gnome just put braids under her hat. Same gnome just put braids under her hat. But no chin? I can put braids under her hat. I can do that. And she would be easy too because she'll be wearing a dress. I won't have to make separate legs. No beard, just braids. Okay, so I'm going to be making some lady gnomes. And those would actually be, they would be actually, because I like my gnomes to have legs and feet. And my lady gnome would not have to have. Okay, so I'll be making one of those for the school. See what that looks like. If I can get that to turn out. I'm very, very, very critical of my stuff. Very critical. I kind of think you have to be. I don't have anything to compare my stuff to since I don't use patterns, but I look at absolutely everything and I say, would anybody buy that? Does it look good enough for somebody to pick it up and look at it? Absolutely everything I make. I made Mr. and Mrs. Santa. Oh, I bet that's cute. I had attempted to begin one of those, and I didn't go ahead and finish it because I decided not to go to any Christmas shows. You can give her legs and feet. Us girls wear pants and dresses. Well, that's true. But if I give her a dress, I can fancy it up a little more. And then when I set her down and stuff her, I can put weights in her. And she might stand by herself a little better. That's my theory anyway. And in the long run, a gnome without legs is going to be 100% easier to do. Which the others, they're not hard to do anyway, but so I will be making a female gnome, and I will be probably doing that, working on that today sometime. Because I only have a couple of weeks before this school show. And I want to have plenty of stuff with their school name on it. And I'm not doing the whole booth with that. Hello, Play. How are you today? Oh, well, that might be the hard part, Susan. I uh I can honestly say I never even thought about making the female. And when I buy them, I never have. But I could do flowers for her too. That would be so cute. And I can use my pinks because I've got a lot of, girly colors. I got a lot of girly colors. And that would be so cute. Okay, so that's going to be one of them. I'll try the girly for the school first because that one's coming up sooner. Hello, Play. Play, I am making pieces of pizza. I've got the cheese and the pepperonis going, the crust. I've got these pepperonis made, so I'm making the cheese for this slice. And I intend to put them on little backpack hooks. I put others on metal keychains, but I do want to use up these plastic hooks. They end up being just super cute. And since I'm going to a school, there is no college anywhere that doesn't have pizza. So excited. Yeah, I will have a lady gnome in a couple of days for sure. Because yeah. I need some for the school, and I need some for my flower gnomes, so I want to make some flower girly gnomes. Yep. What a great idea, Susan. You have given me so many good ideas. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, what's going on here? If you're looking for the pizza tutorial, I do have it on my channel. And it really is. Well, good. That's swapping ideas. That's what crochet people need to do, is swap ideas and have more stuff. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of good ideas from you. Okay, girl gnomes are going to be next. Got to do a couple more rows of pizza cheese. I literally looked through Pinterest last night, and the only two things that I thought I saw that I wanted to make, I'm having to guess whether they're AI or not. Because they could very well be AI. And of course, we all know that you cannot reproduce an AI. But they had a Jack Sparrow, and I thought that Jack Sparrow was really cute. So I may try that one anyway. And The other one was a scarecrow. What do you think about a scarecrow? I thought a scarecrow would be adorable. Now, the scarecrow that I saw is not how I would make it. I kept a picture of it. And don't get me wrong, it is very cute. But he's a tall, slender scarecrow. And I think I want a short, fat, sitting scarecrow. You know, maybe eating a slice of pizza. That's what I have in my mind anyway. So, I don't know why I'm gravitating to the dolls right now. Oh, okay, Lenora. I'm not sure how you sub in live. I think you have to X out of it and then sub from the description or something like that. I'm not sure how that works. Okay, so now we're going to move on to pepperonis. Happy birthday, Allie. What a great day for a birthday. Spring is on the way. How sweet. You know what? My birthday's coming up too, for too long. Hi, Sabi. How are you today? My birthday is in May. I was born on Mother's Day. It is actually the 11th of May. I don't know what day Mother's Day's on this year. It's like every 6 years my birthday's on Mother's Day. Again. But in 1969, I was born on a Sunday morning. I am interested. How did you get in YouTube? Like, what made you do it? Well, I was completely terrified to get into YouTube. I did not think anybody would be interested in anything that I did. So I hem-hawed around about it. I made a little bitty video about my dog, the first one. And I thought, you really stink at making videos. Nobody wants to watch you. And then my cousin said, just go make videos. You'd be surprised at what people want to watch. And then she told me to find my niche, or what everybody else calls a niche. She said, find your niche, do something like that. And I'm like, I have too many hobbies to pick one. So when I started looking around, I thought, well, because, you know, I do construction and all kinds of stuff, and I don't want to do videos on all those. But so anyway, my cousin says, just go do it and shut up about it. So that's what I did. I just started it. And I've enjoyed it. And then I just discovered the lives a few weeks ago where I could actually talk to people. So I will have to say that since that has happened, my tutorials have suffered because I have enjoyed talking to people. And so the time that I would have spent working on my tutorials and videos that way, I have spent talking. Boy, that sounds really bad. But it's the truth. I've spent the time talking instead of making tutorials because I so enjoy talking and chatting to people on here. Ellie! Come here, Ellie! I know the day that I told you about Eid. Yes, yes. Come here, Ellie. See if she can jump up here. Come on. Oh, gotta pick her up. Here's Ellie. Don't lick me. I don't like to be licked. Turn over here. They want to see you. This is Ellie. You need a bath. Oh, there you go. Well, I kind of agree with that, Fed. I do enjoy this, but I also enjoy helping people with my tutorials. It's not as you don't see it as quickly, but I do enjoy that too. 30K money? I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. That's cool. That's cool. As she went back to her window, yesterday I had 4 turkeys. Don't know where these turkeys came from. But there were 4 turkeys running around outside my house. Hello, Vima. I am good. I'm making some little pizza keychain things today, or backpack stuff. How are you doing? Sabby, I am more of a cat person than a dog person. And I went and got this dog for my dad. And this dog picked me. And she started following me around. I have never had a dog do that before. And my dad said, take her home. So that's how I got her. I had no intention of getting a dog. But, now if she's not here, because she's been naughty and I have given her away twice. But if she's not here, I really miss her. Let me see. I don't need that tail sticking out. So yeah, she's just kind of wormed her way in. The last time I gave her away, yes, the dog chose me, because I had no intentions of getting a dog. I did not even want a dog. But I fell in love with this one and she fell in love with me, so here we are. Well, I can't have a cat because this dog hates cats. She runs off. Well, anything that moves, she chases. So, the turkeys yesterday, like I don't know where they came from, how they got here, because I live in a small town. But when they were here, she was just going crazy. Oh, cat. I had a cat that was pretty creepy. But I love cats too. But the reason I refused to get a cat was because I did not want a litter box. I do not like cleaning litter boxes. That is so not fun. And it stinks so bad. And, when you can walk into a house and smell the litter box, that's just disgusting. Yeah, it's just disgusting, and I can't. No. Maybe if I had somebody else to clean the litter box, I'd think about it. But no, around here it all falls to me, and I simply do not want to do it anymore. I am now sewing the cheese to my pizza slice. These are just so darn cute. Aw. Well, if you want a cat, then, and it's not just a cat, any animal. If you want any animal, if you're not going to take care of it, don't get one. They take work. All of them take work. Even if you buy a gerbil, it takes work. You still got to clean the cage. Guinea pigs. 2 cats and 2 litter boxes that I clean every day. And they just about have to have their own room. And cleaning them every day, if you do not clean them every day, they just get gross real quickly. You have to clean them every day. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to make you feel sad, but any kind of animal, you've got to. They take effort. So if you're going to get an animal, and well, I've had animals. I can't remember not having animals because I grew up and I had horses and goats and cows and pigs and sheep, and my dad even had chinchillas, and we had chickens, and we had, it was just part of your life that you went to feed the animals. So it really, we called it chores, but it really wasn't that bad. So now that I'm older, I walk by the dog bowl and it's empty. I just throw some food in there, or walk by the water bowl. I don't think about it as being chores anymore. It's just something you do. Yes, they are. What about a fish that's fake? A fake pet? Well, you could probably get by with dusting that one once or twice a week or a month or whatever, or picking it up and shaking it. It'd probably be all right. But yeah, every animal needs care if it's going to be in your home. I do think pets are good to teach responsibility. Yeah, they are. They are. We did have the entire farm. I had horses. I had cows. I did 4-H. And even though it was not fun to go outside in the storms and the rain and all of that to feed the animals, it was actually very good to do that. It taught us a lot. And it was a good way to grow up. The pizza is coming along. I'm sewing the cheese to the crust right now. Even a cow. Yes, I had a cow. I was in 4-H and I had a steer for my 4-H project. And I got so upset with the steer. Hello, Lenora. I got so upset when I had to sell that steer at the 4-H sale. But my parents used the 4-H steer to teach me about money. I was 8 years old, and they made me go to the bank and get a loan to buy the cow. 8 years old. 8 years old. I went to the bank at 8 years old and borrowed the money to buy the cow. And then I went and opened an account. Now, this has been almost 50 years ago. Then I went to the feed store and we set up an account there to buy the feed for the cow. And then I ran around with the cow all the time. They have to go to your channel to sub. Okay. We have finally closed schools. Oh, well, hello, Mercy. So I'm 8 years old and I go buy this cow and I feed this cow and I play with this cow and I, lay on it and sleep on it and all this kind of stuff. And then when the summer's over and you've got to go sell the cow at the auction or the cattle sale that they have. So I sold my cow. I hung on the side of the truck when I got rid of it, petting him for his last, minutes and that I could, hanging on the truck, crying and crying. It was so terrible. It was so terrible. I loved that cow. And then when I sold it, I had to take all that money and pay off the loan and pay off the feed bill. And then I had like $200 left. And I'm like, that was so not worth it. It was so not worth it. Because, I loved that cow. It was, I did. I cried and I cried. But I was 8 years old. But that was a hard lesson. And I worked for that cow. But you need to keep in mind, too, that I was 8 years old. And that cow weighed 1,200 pounds. 1,200 pounds. If that cow had decided to run off with me, the cow was obviously used to me. There is no way that I could have possibly controlled that cow. Because that cow would have just flipped me off like a fly. Because, I probably didn't weigh 60 pounds soaking wet. And that cow was huge. Cows, no, I don't really think, cows weren't very fat. They did have some, but it was a large, that cow was large. I fed it well. It was corn fed. But it was sad to have to sell my cow after all that. You know what? I cut that tail off and now I got nothing to tie this off with. So now I'm going to have to cut another piece to tie off my tail. Yeah, I worked all that time for 200 crappy little dollars. By the time I had paid off the loan and the feed, I'd made like $200. It was just really not worth it. I guess when you look at it like that, as far as it being worth it, I learned more than $200. To learn that anywhere else would have cost more than $200. And I learned all that in, 1 year. So that's it. That part of it was worth it. The things that I learned was worth it. But looking back on that, I just, my mom and dad taking me to the bank at 8 years old and making me ask the bank president for a loan. That was that's bizarre, and nobody does that these days, but my parents did, and it all right. The only pets I've actually had was a rabbit, goat, fish. We can't forget chickens. Well, chicks. Yes, we had rabbits. And my dad actually got some baby chicks yesterday. All right, Play, you have a good day. Oh, you'll be back. All right. Sabby, what are you asking? Was a boy or a girl? My cow was a boy. Okay, here's my chicken. Or my pizza. I need to stick my tails in. Sticking my tails in. All right, here's my pizza. Oh, thanks, Susan. I had a pretty good childhood, even though I didn't think I did at the time. Learning the things that I learned. I have my grandson collecting and crushing cans. He said he was going to get rich. Boy, was he disappointed. I get that too. Oh, sure you can, Sabby. You can do that. Funny story about collecting cans. My son was a bit of a bully. Kind of still is. I call him a bully every so often. It's kind of our thing now to call each other bully. But when he was about 5 years old, he decided that throwing rocks was a great thing to do. So he would stand outside and throw rocks at passing cars. Well, one day he got in trouble quite a bit, but one day he threw a rock at my cousin's car, which was a BMW, and he broke the mirror on the car. And keep in mind, he's 5 years old, so there wasn't a lot that he could do. But I made him walk for miles down the road, picking up aluminum cans. And he did that for weeks. I drove behind him in the car down the road, making him pick up cans. And then when he had a whole bunch of them, I made him go take them and sell them, turn them in. And he got the money. And he had, I don't know, it was like $22 or something. Hello, Footy. He had like $22. And then I made him go pay my cousin for that mirror. He never threw any more rocks. Even at 5 years old, he figured that out. He didn't throw no more rocks. Well, that's the most extreme punishment, which is a good payback. Well, it may seem like an extreme punishment, but you're going to go messing with a BMW. Those things cost money. And I couldn't figure out any other way to make him stop throwing rocks about what it meant to other people when some bratty kid would damage their stuff. So I made him work for it, and then he lost his rewards to pay for what he damaged. But yeah, at 5 years old, he learned that. Never had to holler at him about throwing rocks again. I bet he walked 20 miles picking up cans out of the ditch. while I sat in the air conditioner of the car following him. I probably spent $50 on gas following him. But it was the lesson that I was after.
It's funny about me picking up cans.
Talking about. Do you remember that?
I remember picking up cans.
he remembers picking up cans. Do you remember having to go pay Kay back for the mirror?
I remember the story.
You remember the... He says he doesn't remember it. He remembers picking up cans, but he doesn't remember the rest of it.
I remember the reason, but I don't actually remember him money or anything like that.
Yeah. So he's got spotty memory of it, but the lesson he learned. He learned that lesson. Well, that came later. Because throwing rocks was just one lesson. I mean, if you've dealt with any kids, you know the next lesson is just the next day away. I don't know what his happiest memory is, because Devin had a rough life. Devin came to me when he was 2 years old. He had lived in an abusive home, and I was a foster parent. And Devin had a rough way to go. So I don't really know what his fondest memory is. But he got in some trouble. I had a rough way to go for a while with him. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what those are, but he had a lot of hard lessons that I hated for him to have to learn. But I tell you what, he now has my grandson, and my grandson has taught him a lot of things that I could never teach him. And I'm so thankful for that, because Devin, even though I tried to teach him and he would refuse to learn, I guess I did rescue people. But he, with Levi has caused him to grow so much. And he's gained a lot more understanding why I did a lot of the things that I did. And Levi being severely autistic, it's gonna be rough. It's hard to take care of a special needs child, which Devin was. But you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it. That's all I can really say about it. It's hard, you just do it. That's just, and part of that comes from learning to feed the cows in the ring. You just do it because that's what you know to do. You just do it. So I'm thankful and I'm happy, and I'm real thankful that my parents made us do those things. And I think there were times that we had animals and chores and stuff just so that they could teach us what to do with it. I mean, we sheared sheep, we collected eggs, we cried when the dog ate a pig, and learning the life lessons that farm animals were to eat. And we had, I'm thankful for that, because kids don't have that today, and it's missing. So I am very thankful for that. Okay, I really hate that sewing with that fuzzy yarn, so I'm going to use this yarn to sew with it. I'm thankful for it. I really am. Ellie, now what are you yelling at? All right. Uh-oh. We got therapy coming today. Oops, 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 oops. Levi gets therapy 3 times a week, and they come here to the house because of his autism. On the spectrum, they call him severely autistic, and I can be honest, I don't really know what all of that means right now. I don't. That hasn't sunk in for what all that means. So I'll be learning all about it here, for the rest of my life. But anyway, he is autistic, and he has a developmental therapist and an occupational therapist and a speech therapist. And for now, they come to the house, and he'll start school in the fall at 3 years old. And that one's going to be hard on a granny. And it's just going to be hard. But anyway, his therapist is going to be here shortly, very shortly. So yes, I'm thankful for my upbringing, and I feel sorry for ones that, for other kids that would benefit, even if they only did it for a month or two. I was too. I was, you didn't argue with your elders. You didn't do that. And if you did, you're probably going to be picking yourself up off the floor. So here's my pizzas for today. I got to make quite a few more of these. Hello, Void. So here's we got. So yeah, they were not afraid to. Well, my dad called it knowledge bumps. My dad and his knowledge bumps. He my dad is fantastic. He would walk by us. We'd do something stupid when we were little. And he'd walk by and he'd flip us on the top of the head. And he'd say, "That's a knowledge bump." Well, after we figured out what the knowledge bump, he'd just walk by and flip us on the top of the head. I have to get your knowledge bumps that way. But I get so tickled at that. It's kind of like the Gibbs slap. The Gibbs slaps you on the back of the head. My dad would flip you with his finger just like this. It's a knowledge bump. Well, thank you, Susan. Fed up. I feel so bad for the teacher nowadays. Kids are not taught respect. No, they're really not. And some of that respect you learn, well, like learning on a farm, you learn to respect things because, well, for instance, if you throw the garden rake out on the ground and you don't put it down right, when you step on it, it's going to smack you in the head. You learn to respect that rule. You put things away. And with the cow, if you don't disrespect, or if you disrespect a cow or a horse or something like that, they kick you. They bite you. It hurts. You learn respect from being on a farm too, and I'm thankful for that. But yeah, for the people in my family, I cannot remember my grandmother ever getting after me for anything. But I can remember being sitting in the church pew and us fiddle farting around in the church pew. And my mom played the piano. Yarn fuzz, yummy. My mom played the piano, and she would look at us from the piano bench, and it was, and by golly, because my sister's a year older and my brother's a year younger, we're back, because my mom, if she told me we were going to get a spanking when we got home, we got that spanking when we got home. And if she forgot, she would get us out of bed to give us that spanking because she told us we were going to get that spanking. So we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. When I was a kid, when I was bored, I worked in a middle school. I took place of a teacher. She was hit by a chair. Oh gosh, how awful. Oh, your brother has autism. When I was a kid, um, every day we had to have our chores done before my dad got home from work. And we'd have to mow the yard. We had all kinds of chores. Well, after the chores were done, then we could do what we wanted. Now, I would crochet and embroider and do all kinds of that stuff in the winter. But in the summertime, we went to the creek. And we spent the entire summer running the creeks, fishing with the horses. We'd take the horses back to the creek. We had guns. We would run with the guns up and down the creek shooting snakes. I can honestly say I don't remember being bored in the summer. We did not have electronics. We did not have video games. I do not remember being bored. We had bicycles. We'd ride to town and see our friends on bike. We had to ride 8 miles into town, into the next little bitty town to play with our friends. I'm sure we did get bored, but I do not remember being bored. I do not remember that. My dad did the 1, 2, 3 method, and we would have gotten spanked right there in church. My mom would say 1, and that was as far as we got because it was coming on 2. Back in the day, you didn't get bored like kids do today. We were outside using our imagination. We did. We get a cardboard box. I built a playhouse out of everything. My dad get a new shed, and I was making a playhouse out of it. And I did. I remember them getting a new dryer or refrigerator or something. Anyway, it had a great big cardboard box. We played with that box until the rain destroyed it. Cut windows in it. I had a playhouse in that. Yeah. Nobody does that today. Oh my gosh. They are really missing out. They are really missing out on that imagination. I mean, because yes, they're fantastic with electronics and everything electronic and technology. They are fantastic with all of that. But I remember we decided we were going camping one day, and we went down to the creek bed because the creek bed was dry, and we set up our tent in the creek bed. Now, those of you who are my age and older know what's wrong with that. But, we were probably 8, 9, and 10 years old. Creek bed was dry. There wasn't no water there. So we set up our tent there. We had our little rocks and everything around for our campfire, and we had everything. I mean, we were probably I don't know, we weren't terribly far from the house. Well, anyway, my dad decided to come and find out where we were camping. And he said, he's coming to look at our campsite, and he walks down there, and he stands in the creek bed. Of course, it's dry. And he started yelling, "Get that out of there. You can't camp in a creek bed, blah, 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 blah." And he was just yelling and carrying on. So, of course, we're scrambling to get all of our camping stuff out of the creek bed, and we put it up on the side of the creek bed. And then he says, "You have no idea where there is rain," because, we didn't have internet. We didn't have, max velocity saying watch for flash flooding. And he said, "You don't know what's happening upstream, that somebody else has got water." He said, "By morning, while you're asleep, you could be underwater." One time, we never did it again. We learned what the dangers were and everything else. And I'm really kind of shocked because I hate snakes, and the creek was full of snakes. We could have been setting our tent up like right over the snakes, and that would have been really creepy. But Dad come down then, and we learned, the creek bed was great. It was shaded, and it was, but the danger of it, we had no idea. But Dad was right there to say, no, you ain't doing that, and this is why. And that was a lesson I've never forgot. Another lesson I never forgot was I was probably 6 years old, and he bought us our first pony. And he always says, I'm going to show you this one time, so pay attention. And we had to put the saddle on the horse. Well, there was all three of us, and I'm 7, that means my sister's 8 and my brother's 6, or however old we are, we're stair-stepped. So we weren't very old, and even this pony was bigger than us. And he shows us how to tie that saddle knot, and he did. He showed us one time. So when we go out to catch the pony the next time to ride it, not one single one of us remembered how to tie that saddle knot. But each one of us together remembered the parts of it so that we got that tied. It was pretty awesome. I had a pretty good childhood, Rick. Really. I wish others did too. I really, really do. Because I know my son missed out on a lot of it. I think he was like, I don't know. He must have been 9, 10 years old before I ever took him to play in the creek. But now, the chemicals drain from the fields into the creek. We didn't have so much of that when I was growing up. People were still farming with small tractors, and we just didn't have the chemical runoff that we have now. So, okay, I'm sure I have bored you all to tears with my childhood anecdotes and how I grew up, but I am extremely blessed with, my family, and I have a huge family, absolutely huge family, and I'm thankful for each and every one of them. So, okay, I'm tired of babbling, and now that I have, made myself have a sore throat from all my babbling, so, well, now I feel like I've told you my life story, and I've run out of things to say. So, how about you all? Did you all have fun things growing up? And while you're typing that out, I'm going to run to the little ladies' room. Speaking of growing up on a farm and the things you learn. When you grow up on a farm raising animals, and this is probably going to be, this is politically incorrect, but is a fact. Take it to the bank, it's a fact. When you grow up on a farm, there is no confusion about gender. You have a cow, you have a bull that creates a calf. The cow has udders, that's where you get your milk. That's what feeds the baby cows, unless you're bottle feeding them. And then you have a bull. And if you cut the parts off the bull, then you have a steer. And then it becomes food. That's what food is. Same thing with the hogs. The boys and girls, you know, the gilts would give you babies. And the boars, which were the boys, would give you, you know, you put them with the sows, and the sows, you would have babies. And then you have the boars, you know, when they got cut, they would become barrows, and then they were meat hogs. That's just the way that is. There's no question. You can't have, you know, you put all the females together if you didn't want them to reproduce. That's just the way it is. There's no question. And it's not foggy, and you don't have to wonder about it. And that's that. So I guess to say that all of this gender stuff that's going on today, to me, is just out there. Because if you grow up on a farm, there are no questions. You already know there are no questions. So that probably lost me some subscribers today, but that's what I believe, and I believe it to the heart, and I love you all. But nobody say anything, so I'm guessing my chat quit working. And I don't know how to get the chat back on here. So I don't know what happened. So while I'm still babbling and everybody's saying something that I can't read, and it's happened again. And you know what? It happened yesterday about this time too. So that's just interesting. I wonder how you do, what this button is for. I don't know why that happened. Okay, Susan. I am a vegan and accept everything you just said. No, it's going. No. Okay, so I'm here. I'm seeing it now. I don't know why my chat quit a long time ago. I had a pogo stick I jumped on. Oh, Bobby, I love the pogo stick. I'm sure that the neighbors got tired of hearing bounce on it all day. I jumped on our pogo stick till that little rubber thing at the bottom was pushed clear through. I jumped down to my grandma's. I am almost the same, except I wasn't in 4-H. Yeah. Oh gosh, we didn't pull weeds. I have this thing called ground clear, and I spray it around everything that I don't want to pull weeds around. We as parents have made our children soft. We absolutely have. We absolutely have. Our children they're marshmallows. All right, so now that my chat kicked back up again. Shit. Okay. I do not know. Hello, Elizabeth. I do not know King Von. I had a boy bike. Ouch. Yes, especially when you fall. Roller skates. I still have my roller skates with the big pom-poms on them. They were so much fun. They were so much fun. I'm not sure Lenora, what I might not see. I don't know what I missed. For some reason, my chat switches over to only top comments, and then nothing shows up. So I don't know how that happens. I have no idea how that happens. Well, I am thankful that I got to take you down memory lane. You know, it's really good for me, I think, to go back and think about the things that I used to do, because if nothing else, just to give thanks. Because I do appreciate it, and I am thankful for it. I'm thankful for the work ethic. I'm thankful for the things I learn. I'm thankful for what I can help to teach somebody else. You know, I mean, and my big motto, do it afraid. I was just saying that just because the chat is going doesn't mean you can see it. Jonna has to refresh her chat every once in a while. No. That's true. I didn't know you had to refresh your chat. But that's exactly what happened because it just flipped over to just top comments. Well, I don't know what that is. What's a top comment? Everybody's comment is important to me. You know, I'm not max velocity with 85,000 comments, you know. So, I mean, I couldn't even read his they go so fast. But my comments, everyone is important. But yeah, it didn't it just absolutely stopped. And I don't know why. And it did that yesterday after I'd been on about the same amount of time. But anyway, I am going to have to take off today. I did get 2 little pizzas done. But I'm going to pack my go bag today for a girl gnome. But I'm probably going to make it bigger than this one because I like my big gnomes better than the little ones. I did some little ones so that, you know, the kids might be able to still get one and not have to pay ridiculous amounts for them because the others are going to be expensive. Thank you, Fed. But yeah, I will take my school stuff for today, but I've got some good girly colors that I can make girl gnomes with, and I'm going to do that because I think that's a fantastic idea. But I love my boy gnomes, but yes, they do need girl gnomes, and I am going to do that scarecrow. The taller gnomes, I don't know a good way to explain it. But if you have a doll gnome, you know, that comes out this big, I just keep adding. You know when you're making something to be round, you know that you start out with your magic ring and then you're increasing each stitch and then a 1 increase and a single crochet and then a two single crochet and increase and 3. Just do that and then I fold it up, you know, to think how big that I want it, and then I just go from there. Because after you get the foot the size that you want it, then you start with the leg and then you do the other one like that, and then it just makes it bigger. And I do that without a pattern, but I'm going to have to run because the therapist has just pulled in the driveway. Thank you so much for being here. I have enjoyed it today, even though it brought me to tears. Thank you. Love you all. Bye-bye.